Tonight from the shores of McCovey Cove, it's all about the pitching. Tim Lincecum takes the ball for the Giants and looks to play the role of the stopper for the Orange and Black. Francisco Liriano is on the hill for the Pirates, and he might be having the best season of his career. It's Lincecum and Liriano. It's the Giants and Pirates, and it's next. A beautiful night for baseball. It's Fedora night here at the ballpark as we get ready for Game 3 of this 4-game series, Pirates and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, in talking to Bruce Bochy before the game, he said, I expect Francisco Liriano to pitch very well tonight. And he said, I need Lincecum to do the same.
Well, he does. He needs to match up, and he needs a good start. He had a good streak of them going until the last 2 starts. He's kind of hit a little bit of a snag. He needs to get back on track, and to do it, strike one is so important. And we're going to watch that stat tonight. When he gets ahead of hitters, he's tough. When he gets behind, he's not so tough. That will be a key.
All right, strike one. So it's Francisco Liriano against Tim Lincecum. When we come back, we will have the starting lineups on the first pitch right after this.
Is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box with Jack's really big chicken sandwich combos for only $3.99 plus tax. And by Toyota. Do the math and save at your local Toyota dealer.
Beautiful night here at AT Park. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open every day. 66 degrees here at the yard. We have winds at 10 miles per hour. Humidity at 70%. And it's nice, but it's a little cool and breezy as well. All right, here's the Pirates lineup brought to you by Coors Light. We'll whip through this as fast as we can. It'll be Tabata to lead things off, followed by Walker, McCutchen, and Alvarez. Jones will hit in the 5th spot. Then it's Tony Sanchez 6th, Lambeau 7th, Barmas 8th, in Liriano ninth. And the first pitch to Tabata at 6:05 is called a ball. And it's fouled out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. All right. There you go. Did you get all that?
Yes, I did. Well done.
Don't remember anything that I said.
It's okay. It made sense.
The 1-1 to Tabata is down low. Home plate umpire is Kerwin Danley.
Let's take a look at the numbers for Tim Lincecum at 25 starts, 6-13 with a 4.53 ERA. The strikeouts to innings pitched are fantastic. Still averaging over 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. Lincecum 4 types of pitches: a fastball, heel 2 and 4 seam, curveball, slider, split.
And this is tapped foul. That may have been the split right there. It remains 2-2. I mentioned the umpire, Kerwin Danley. Barksdale at first, Carapazza at second, Gary Cederstrom at third.
And Danley can have a very tight, narrow zone at times. You will get more width on the first base side of the strike zone. Away to righties, into lefties. But don't expect a whole lot on the other side of the corner. The third base corner. But the thing about Danley, he's pretty consistent with it. What you get in the first, you're going to have in the ninth.
So it's 3-2. Kerwin Danley can't find it. It's right behind him. Ballboy can't find it. Yo, dudes, it's right there on the line. Killing me. So.
It was blending in. Come on. I don't want him on my team when I'm hunting Easter eggs.
Well, all 4 of them. What are you talking about? Out of play. That was. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that before. It is Fedora night. First 20,000 fans got one of those. Some got 2. And I bet if we looked around enough, you'll see someone with 3 on, or maybe even 4.
Yep.
Tabata making it tough for Lincecum.
Yeah, this turns into a 10-pitch at bat at least. Let's take a look at the defense behind Tim Lincecum, starting in the Giants outfield from left to right. A lot of right-handers in the lineup tonight against Liriano. It'll be Phil, Blanco, and Pence. That's your outfield. Arias and Sandoval on the left side with Crawford getting the day off. Scudero and Posey on the right side. And Hector Sanchez will be in the squad putting down the signs.
And this is driven down the right field line. And Pence with a great play on a carom. And Tabata has to stay at first.
Tell you what, though, that's a pitcher's nightmare, starting a game out into a 10-pitch at bat. And on the 10th pitch, he gets a base knock.
Did spit out perfectly, though, for Pence.
And really, I think Tabata, who runs well off the crack of the bat, is thinking 2 bags. But watch it spit out right there to Pence, who takes 90 feet away. So that, at least much, was a bit of a break for the Giants.
So here's Walker. Walker, a switch hitter. Hits one high and foul down the left field line and out of play. I'm guessing that if you're the Pirates hitters, Giants hitters, and with the background as tough as it is right now, if you see a fastball that's hittable early in the count, you're going to take a whack at it.
Jump on it.
And that's the background.
Shine on that green batter's eye. Nice split to Walker. And that's really been a bit of a problem ever since this ballpark has opened up. That's something that has developed in time. The very first time they ever had a game at this hour, it was problematic for the hitters.
Well, I'll say this. That arc is perfect. In the dirt, blocked by Sanchez. Come on.
Yeah, it is. But you don't want to be playing center field right now. Regular Blanco Andrew McCutchen, the center fielder for the Pirates, they are disadvantaged, and they will be for about 2 or 3 innings. A low line drive would be disaster. That throw to first called by Bruce Bochy over the Giants dugout.
Yeah, you see Buster Posey flinched. McCutchen waiting on deck. We are just underway. Wants to clean his spikes off. And that fastball is high, so it's now 2-2.
Early in the year, you would have seen teams take off right away against Hector Sanchez. They knew he was having some problems with his throwing. He has solved those problems. The last time we saw him catch, really it was throwing the ball much, much better than early in the year. So the sore shoulder problem that he was having, no longer an issue.
Got him.
That is as good a split as you can throw. Start it right there above the knees and then just let it die as it gets up to the strike zone. And the thing that you really can't see from that angle is how late it starts its movement. And that's what is so deceptive in the eye of the hitter.
Here's McCutchen. McCutchen 2 for 3 on Thursday. 2 for 3 in the game last night. And he takes a pitch that's wide. 1 ball and no strikes.
Let's take a look at our Toyota Exmo. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. See the split grip. Gets out front, and that's the key with all of his pitches. He has to be out front. Once he can do that, he can control the bottom part of the strike zone. That's where he gets his strikeouts.
On deck is Garrett Jones. And a foul back. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So McCutchen got a fastball. Pirates have won the first 2 games in the series. They're 34-30 on the road. In tight 2-1. They're 13-13 against the National League West. The Giants have had problems against the National League Central. They're 9-23.
Now the National League Central is probably going to have 3 teams go to the playoffs.
The one team that's got an outside shot at catching either the Reds or the Cardinals or the Pirates, whatever the second wild card team is the Arizona Diamondbacks. Three balls and a strike. Tapped on the ground to Arias, to Scudero, to Posey. And that's a double play. Giants are coming up. Scudero will lead things off. Starting lineup brought to you by Coors Light. A lot of right-handed hitters in this lineup. It'll be Scutaro, Arias, and Buster Posey. And you see what Buster's done batting third in the lineup. It'll be Pence, Pill, and then Sandoval. Hector Sanchez 7th, Blanco 8th, and Lincecum 9th. The last two hitters, by the way, are left-handed hitters.
On the hill tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates is going to be Francisco Liriano. This is what he has done in 19 starts. He's 14-5 with a 2.53 ERA. He really has been their ace, especially the second half. 126 strikeouts against 47 walks and 121 innings. Got a good fastball. He'll cruise low 90s, but he can hump it up there mid 90s. He can cut it. He can sink it. He's got a great slider, and it is a left-handed hitter neutralizer. And he'll also throw a changeup. Take a look at the defense playing behind Liriano, starting in the Pirates outfield from left to right. It'll be Tabata, McCutcheon, and Lambo, the best arm in left field with Tabata. Barmas and Alvarez on the left side of the infield. Walker and Jones on the right side. Tony Sanchez will be in the squad, putting down the signs. For Liriano, 29-year-old, his 7th year at the big league level. 6'2", 215-pounder. Originally a Giant.
So here's Liriano to Scutaro. Can you imagine what Liriano's ERA would be like if you took out 3 starts ago against Colorado? 2 1/3, 10 earned runs. Kind of like that start Bumgarner had. It was last year or the year before
against Minnesota,
where he gave up just a boatload in the first.
Can't explain it. Baseball just says, I'm going to pick on this guy today. Happens to be your turn. But Liriano has some credentials. I mean, he's been throwing a no-hitter in the big leagues. He's been an all-star. He's been a comeback player of the year. He has been plagued with injuries throughout his career, and I'm talking about substantial injuries. This is what he has done since May 11th. Ranks first in wins.
No, I don't want to hear one Giants fan say balk.
5th in win percentage, 4th in ERA, 4th in strikeouts, and opponents hitting just .216. That ranks him 6th in the league. And he didn't get started till May 11th because of injuries.
1-2 pitch. 2-2.
And that's that little changeup. You'll see more changeups to left-handed hitter or to right-handed hitters than you will left-handers. You will still throw it to lefties, but you'll get more sliders to lefties, more changeups to righties.
If I'm Scutaro and you see that the clouds take away the tough hitting background,
yeah,
I'm going to swing.
He is, or just stand up there and tie your shoe till you get another cloud coming.
Up the middle, and a base hit for Scutaro. As he sends one right back to where it came from, and the Giants have a base runner.
Well, you go 3-2 on a guy, you got a challenge, a fastball, a little bit of sink, and Scutaro goes right back up the middle. As good a going back up the middle as anybody in this Giants team. Very disciplined, very controlled bat.
So here's Arias. By the way, only the 2nd hit for Scutaro in 10 at-bats against Liriano. Arias, you can see in the series, he doesn't have a hit. Scutaro with 1 steal. Beautiful night. Another sellout crowd. A lot of orange tonight. A lot of folks broke out the fedoras, huh?
Well, the first 30,000 that got to the ballpark got to get one of those fedoras. And you know what? He is rocking the fedora.
Yeah, looks good. No balls in 1 strike. Down the right field line. Trouble. It's a fair ball. Scutaro will stop at third. Arias at second with a double.
We've seen Arias have some really good opposite field at bats here the last 10 days. Just going with the location, and that is his key. Times he doesn't play it every day. Tries to pull that outside pitch here. Just barely catches a piece of the line. We think Lance Barksdale running down the line making the call. The Giants may have just caught a break. All right, now you have to take advantage of it. Thank you, Mr. Barksdale.
So here's Buster Posey. 0 for 3 lifetime against Liriano. And a strike. Almost a perfect pitch on the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Nice block by Tony Sanchez. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
All right, let's take a look at the glove work of Tony Sanchez, the catcher. Textbook perfect. I always see a catcher do his best ball blocking with a runner at third. Ariel's got an open base here, and he can use it. And it looks like he's doing just that, staying out of the center of the strike zone, nibbling on the corner. Now, the 2 strikes in this 4-pitch sequence that have been called strikes have been really pitcher location. First one was on the corner below the knees outside. This one on the inside corner. So that's a wide spectrum of strike being called in this at bat for Posey.
And Buster Posey chops this one foul off his foot. So it remains 2-2. Oh yeah, we got Buster Posey fans all over the ballpark tonight.
Well, I'm a Buster Posey fan.
2-2. And that's a base hit into left field. Coming in to score is Scudero. Is Buster Posey broke his bat and he hooked one right in between Alvarez and Varmus, and it's 1-0 Giants.
Nice 2-strike at bat. That's not a hanger. That's a pretty good pitch on the outside corner. Looked like a changeup. And that location with that little sink that run away from right-handed hitter, that pitch can get a little heavy down that location. Posey goes down and just gets enough wood on it to get it in the outfield. So Giants have a chance to do something special in this inning.
Here's Hunter Pence. Pence 0 for 3 on Thursday. Had a couple of hits last night. And he looks at a strike. He's had 2 at-bats against Liriano. He's had 2 hits and he's had 2 doubles. And that gets away, and Posey will advance. Arias can't.
Now that's significant because Liriano can get a ground ball. I mean, he's got 2 really good pitches to get that ground ball with, the slider and the 2-seam fastball. So losing the force because of a wild pitch, that is a big play.
So now Liriano's back to having first base open.
things down, being very deliberate. He's pitching for the strikeout here.
And Pence taps this one back to Liriano. And Liriano will throw his best fastball to Garrett Jones. So Pence taps out. And here's Brett Pill. Brett Pill has seen Liriano just one time. He's 0 for 1. And a check swing roller. And Arias is going to score. And Pill is going to be safe. As the only thing Jones can do is knock it down. It'll be a base hit. And the Giants lead 2-0.
Now that's a bit of a magic wand right there. One thing Pedro Alvarez does very well, we found this out in the series when the Giants played in Pittsburgh, is he covers that bunt extremely well. And that'll include a swinging bunt. Playing back in respect to the power of Pill, it's going to be a tough play for him. And if he gets a better throw, I mean, they get him. But Garrett Jones cannot dig the one-hopper out. It's going to be a hit, and the Giants can keep on adding. Now's when you get greedy.
Sandoval now will hit with Posey at third. Pill is at first. And the first pitch is down low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, one thing the Giants have done tonight that they have had a hard time doing is homestand, is they have gotten this crowd into this game early. Get them in and keep them in. That's the goal.
Way outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, she likes the baby giraffe. He likes the panda.
And a strike to Sandoval. So Sandoval takes a little bit of a walk. You see Sandoval's numbers, they're very good with runners in scoring position. He pops this one out of play.
Well, Bruce Bochy would take a nice lazy fly ball to the outfield that would score Posey. Best arm in their outfield is in left field with Tabata. So you'd have to get it at least to medium depth if you're going to score Posey from third.
The 2-2 hit on the ground slowly. And they'll get 1 out and a run comes in. So the Giants ground attack is in full force.
Yes. And I think Bruce Bochy is pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it goes away for a little while, but then when it comes back, it can come back with vengeance. I mean, that's the typical case of if you hit the ball good, it's a double play. And Sanchez takes down low.
The thing about Liriano is when he misses, he does not normally miss up. He misses down. And that is a good thing.
That's 93 just inside, maybe low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. First base is open. Liriano's got a left-handed hitter on deck. Three and 0. On the ground, on the green light, and it's 3 and 1.
Paul Robinson, our ball dude, getting a chance to get a little work in down that third base line.
Yeah. Looks like Paul makes you answer a trivia question before he gives you the ball. Oh, yeah, man. Who wore number 24 for the Giants? Looks like his teacher, doesn't he?
He does. He's got that look.
He's a teacher, physics teacher.
It looks like it.
3-2 pitch, and that's hit on the ground, foul. All right, let's see if he makes somebody earn this one. All right, a little celebration.
Not too excessive.
All right, so now
yes, Mr. Robinson.
yeah. And the walk. We now have a ball dude that can finally actually explain how the ball rolled and got there.
It's true. He's a physics guy. He can do that. Jim Vermees over on the first base side tonight. Jim wanting a little action down the right field line.
Yep, I don't blame him.
What do you got on Jim? What's the scout report?
Well, Jim lives in Walnut Creek. Well, grew up in Walnut Creek. Now lives in Martinez. Plays the bass for a band. And is a FedEx courier.
There you go.
So for those of you out in that Martinez area, there's your man. Here's Blanco. Blanco hitting .249, a home run, 32 driven in. And pitch number 32 of the inning is a called strike.
One thing about Liriano, I mean, he's just devastating on left-handed hitters. The league's left-handers are hitting 136 off him, and it's because of that slider. It's a good one.
One ball and one strike.
I think if it wasn't a situation where you had a left-handed hitter hitting against Liriano right here with an open base, they would walk Blanco to face Lincecum, but because he's so good against lefties, Clint Hurdle saying go after him.
Look out. Not hanging there. Ooh.
You flinched, partner. You did flinch on that one. Next pitch going to be number 35 in the inning for Liriano.
Flare to left and a base hit. Bill's coming in. 4-0 Giants. So a nice at bat for Gregor Blanco.
Well, we're going to make it our fourth right choice. And we don't see Liriano make many mistakes up, but here he gets up above the belt, a little flat slider, and Gregor Blanco fights it off and makes him pay. So the gamble that Clint Hurdle took by not walking Blanco, it just came back to bite him. our forward right choice.
Here's Lincecum. Lincecum is 4 for 44. And here he takes a strike. He does have an RBI on the season. Oh, and 2.
"37 pitches, 23 strikes, 14 balls. He has had to dig deep in this first inning.
He got him, and that'll end the inning. Giants send 9 to the plate. They score 4 times. After 1, it's 4-0 Giants. Our AT Uverse rewind, and this was on July 27th of 09. Lincecum was lights out. He had it all working that night, and he struck out 15.
Yeah, I'd have to say he had it going that night. So far tonight, he's got 1. There was that line. No earned runs, 7 base runners, 15 punch outs, a career high.
Here's Pedro Alvarez, who's 31 home runs, leads the team. Also got 85 RBIs, and he's also hitting the count now 2-0. See the 18 home runs on the road. That's the best in the National League. So Lincecum now falls behind 3-0.
Well, the last thing you want to do when you have your team get you 4 runs is come out the next inning and walk the leadoff in. And he's not trying to be too confined with the count. I mean, he's just trying to pour it in there like that.
Overshift is on, and this is popped out of play down the left field line. It's 3-2. So Lincecum comes back after falling behind.
So it's starting to be a little more comfortable for center fielder now with that shadow about gone.
And he got him.
Nice comeback there.
All right, for the first time tonight, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, Dwayne Angel have gone off to a good rehab start with Fresno last night. 1 for 3 with 2 RBI. He's starting again this evening in center field. He's leading off. Bruce Bochy said today when Angel does join this team, September will be a big and important month. He's planning to play him every day so he can work on his timing and get comfortable with that leg. Gentlemen?
All right. And we'll be very happy to welcome him back, as here's Garrett Jones, who takes a curveball for a strike.
Well, Angel Pagan is missed in a lot of ways. He is 100% energy every day.
Timeout is called. I think Jones wanted to step out briefly. One ball and one strike. A 1-2.
Little slider. When he's on, you'll look at his curveball, his slider, and the split, and they'll all have that same downward bite. And at times it's very hard to distinguish the difference between the split and the slider. See ya. Nailed that fastball. Well, Saturday, September 7th is the Giants' annual pregame Fiesta Gigante celebration presented by Coors Light. Special event package for Fiesta Gigantes includes a ticket to the D-backs game and a Gregor Blanco bobblehead depicting the catch he made saving Matt Cain's perfect game. Go to sfgiants.com/special events.
So here's Tony Sanchez. And Sanchez looks at a strike. And this is popped foul down the right field line and out of play. Sanchez at 189 with a couple of RBIs. And that fastball is high. McHenry, the Pirates' usual backup catcher, is on the DL, and he's not going to be playing for a while. So Sanchez, he gets the nod, and he's 7 for 37. The 2-2 pitch. And he got him. Lincecum strikes out the side, and Scudero's going to lead it off again.
How about that shutdown inning?
Yeah.
Not just any solar company, the solar company.
Well, Giants fans, are you on Facebook? And we want to hear from you. Be sure, like the Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area Facebook page for breaking news, exclusive features, giveaways, and more. CSNBayArea.com, your interactive home for authentic Bay Area sports. There's a view that we don't see that view very often.
That's a good one. See the boat coming in?
So you think that's a live shot, like right now?
Oh, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I am too. Scudero opened up the first inning with a base hit up the middle.
Yeah, it was a nice at bat. Nice 6-pitch at bat, 6-pitch, base hit up the middle. And just like that, Liriano was in the stretch.
And a strike from Liriano. 2 balls and 1 strike. Scudero swings and misses. 2-2. On deck is Arias. And Scudero to left, and it's caught by Barmas. So Scudero nearly snuck it into the outfield.
Well, he's really letting that ball get to him. Just a very compact little firing of the bat head. All you can do is hit it on the screws. After that, you lose control of it. Nice play by Barmas. Barmas, last night's game's hero.
Swing and a miss by Arias. Yeah, he was the hero. 1 swing of the bat, and the Pirates picked up 3 runs. Arias doubled down the right field line, very close to being a foul ball. And he takes that pitch just a little high.
94-mile-an-hour fastball. That's been the best velocity that we've seen him have on the fastball. And he'll cruise at a speed, but he's got reach back velocity he can get in the mid-90s.
Hit towards the hole. Barmas on the backhand and is throwing the dirt, and a nice pick by Jones. This was the home run last night that spoiled the party.
Yeah, and it was not a hanger. It was the pitch that Madison Bumgarner wanted to throw. The book on Barmas is you've got to keep the ball down. They made a good pitch to him, and he just beat it. And it cost him the ball game. And
here's Posey. Buster Posey not going to run with a base hit in the first. The RBI for Buster Posey, number 64. Tying him with Hunter Pence for the lead on this team. Here he takes a strike. It's an even 1 ball and 1 strike. That's a Buster Posey fan.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's here, there's here, there's here, there's here. They're everywhere. And they all wear those hats.
I mean, it almost makes it look like the hats came with the jersey.
Hat giveaways, I think, are the coolest because you can see how many people got them.
2 balls and a strike. And a base hit for Buster Posey.
Talking about the Clint Barmas home run, let's take a look at our Geico quote. It came from Madison Bumgarner on Clint Barmas' 3-run homer last night. He said it was just pretty much where I wanted it. He just made an adjustment. That's why they are where they are. It seemed like they were able to make adjustments. There's no one way to beat them.
So here's Hunter Pence.
He pitched beautiful baseball last night, 8 strong innings.
Give you an idea how Bumgarner is. Bruce Bochy said on his KNBR pregame show that Bumgarner went to him after the game and thanked him for letting him pitch the 8th. And then apologized for giving up the home run to Clint Barmas. And, you know, that's, you said it, and Bruce Bochy said it today on his show, is when you don't score any runs, that's what happens. Your starting pitcher starts to feel like it was his fault.
Yeah. The good ones. And he's a good one.
And the reason he thanked him is he let him pitch the 8th to see if he could get a decision other than a loss.
Well, there's the line. 117 pitches into it. 8 strong. 3 runs were allowed. 5 strikeouts.
And that's wrapped into right field, a base hit. So Hunter Pence with a base hit. And that'll bring up Brett Pill. So here's Pill. Pill had an infield hit that knocked in a run in the first. So a couple of balls hit pretty hard here in the second inning, even the out by Scudero. And Pill looks at a strike. Posey at second, Pence at first. Outfield straightaway for Brett Pill. Look out. I almost got Ryan Vogelsong. Just leave him alone.
Yeah,
he's just starting to feel good.
He's already been dinged enough this year. All right, let's take a look. Look out.
Did it get him on the back?
No, I think he got the top of the railing. Don't stand next to Billy Hayes. You're in trouble.
Oh, I know. Yeah, if there's an ugly finder, stay away from Billy Hayes. One and two, 2 outs. Posey and Pence are aboard.
I'm not going
to laugh until everybody's okay. All right. Are you fine, Grigor? I mean, you got a heads up.
Affelt's hit it the other way.
Remember, Affelt in the playoffs almost got dinged. And Pill rolls another one foul. Here's another angle. Watch.
It's almost looking like he's hit it between his legs. Blanco, Rodwodas.
It's hard to pull a ball like that.
It is.
You almost look like you have to hit it between your legs if you're a right-handed hitter. Here's the 1-2, and it's in the dirt.
That's 61 pitches in this second inning. Brett Pill runs into one here. They can really hurt him. A lot of stretch time for Liriano.
And he finally gets him to end the inning. 2 hits, 2 stranded. After 2, it's the Giants 4 and the Pirates nothing.
Is brought to you by Sonoma Raceway. Catch the IndyCar Go Pro Grand Prix of Sonoma August 23rd through the 25th. For tickets, go to racesonoma.com.
The Giants scored 4 in the first. It's 4-0. It'll be Lambeau, Barmas, and Liriano. And Lincecum with 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. He will not have the benefit of the great shadow. I'm not saying that had everything to do with the 4 strikeouts. He does have good stuff tonight.
He does.
This is wrapped into right center field. Blanco. 1 out.
Well, the Arizona Diamondbacks are in town for a 4-game series, September 5th through the 8th, Thursday and Friday, September 5th and 6th, both 7:15 games. That Saturday, September 7th game is our annual pregame Fiesta Gigante celebration from 3 to 6 with the game starting at 6:05. And Sunday's finale, a 105 game. There are still tickets for all 4 D-back games. Go to sfgiants.com. Check it out.
Here's Barmas. Barmas takes a strike. He's had the most at-bats lifetime against Lincecum of anybody on this Pirates roster, and that's primarily because Barmas spent some time in Colorado. And Lincecum has faced the Rockies a lot over the years, as you would expect. And he's 3 for 21 lifetime.
Good split. I mean, that's. We talk about how good the curveball's been. That split has been as good. In fact, all of his specialty pitches have been good.
And Barmas stays alive by shooting this one foul. Barmas pulls this one on the ground foul.
Whoa, look out, Paul. Paul Robinson, our ball dude. A little overzealous there. We enjoyed it. All right, let's take a look at the happy physics teacher. Not afraid to get dirty.
Well, plus, Paul can actually figure out why that happened.
It's true. Let's take a look one more time. I got this one. I got it.
Oh, he almost stepped on his glove. The 1-2 pitch is just inside 2-2.
And you see that ball carry him off and hit him in the toe? And what do you do when it hits your toe?
You call a tow truck.
Never gets old.
No. That was one of the great lines in our house for years. And then I broke my toe. And then my son was 10 at the time. And he had the nerve to ask the question. And on that particular moment, it wasn't that funny.
So he asked you if you called a tow truck, and you didn't think it was very funny.
Here's Liriano, that strikeout number 5.
On a curveball, and a good one. And the beauty of it is he's got a lot of confidence to throw this thing in a 3-2. Just like you're hammering a nail. And here comes Uncle Charlie. Grab some pine meat.
Liriano lifts this one out to Pill, and Pill's going to make the catch. Well, he took a different route, made it a little bit more exciting, and the Giants lead 4-0.
Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEPINS.com.
Here at AT Park, it's a 4-0 lead for the Giants. Giants scored all 4 in the first on 5 hits, 1 double, and a walk. And Pablo Sandoval is going to hit. He had an RBI on an infield out in that first inning. So Sandoval, Sanchez, and Blanco to face Francisco Liriano. And Sandoval doesn't waste any time.
Whoa, Paul. The happy physics teacher. Putting on a show down there. We're good. It's all good. We're good. One more look. And here he comes. Whoa, yeah. I love that guy.
On the ground to third. This is not nearly as exciting as Sandoval bounces out. Dave Fleming will be in the middle three, 4, 5, and 6. I'll head over to the KNBR side. John Miller on assignment. And the hitter is Sanchez.
All right, Paul Robinson, one more time, just for fun. Whoa.
Don't land on your head. Uh-oh. We got action.
He's got it going. He is going for Ball Dude of the Year honors tonight. Jim Vermees enjoying it every bit as much as we are.
And Sanchez. It's the first time I'd rather see Sanchez hit a grounder to the Ball Dude than a hit.
All right, ISO. I got this one. Just missed it.
I bet there's about 200 of Paul's former students going, "Bah!"
Yep.
So Sanchez is aboard, and the hitter is Gregor Blanco. Look out. Get out of town. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
One thing Liriano will do, he will pitch inside. And this one,
that was close.
Was close to the helmet.
Hit on the ground to second, and Barmas will get Hector Sanchez on the force play. So Blanco will reach on the fielder's choice, and the hitter will be Tim Lincecum. Lincecum struck out to end the first inning. So here's Lincecum. And the pitch is wide, 1-0.
Oh, yeah. Hugs and kisses, authentic Giants fans. At their new lids, dialed. Significant in that Lincecum gets to hit in this inning. Always a good thing.
I'm not sure he's that thrilled about actually hitting.
No, he had to take a strike. 70 pitches. That's a ton of work at 2 2/3 innings.
And that's out of play. It's 1-2. And Lincecum out swinging. Dave Fleming, he'll be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th. Here it's 4-0 Giants.
Fleming has joined us. Welcome.
So pretty cool scene here tonight. We got Lincecum pitching. We got the Giants offense in the first inning. The beautiful scenes. We got the ball dude antics.
But so that's not the best thing that happened to you today, though.
It is not the best thing that happened to me today. You and I had quite an experience, didn't we? Out there on the water with Oracle Team USA. That was cool.
America's Cup alive and well here in the Bay Area, and we got a chance to see it firsthand, and it is exciting stuff, folks.
Now, they took you and me out on the bay, and we were in the race.
Yes, we were.
We were right in the middle of it all. Tabata, the leadoff man for the Pirates. Well, there's part of the scene out on the water. Getting towards sunset time. The races are done, but there's still some work to be done out there.
Yeah, this is what we were privileged to see today. The 72-foot catamarans. We got to see the Oracle boats out there, and they were practicing. The race today was between Emirates, the New Zealand team, against Luna Rossa, the Italian team.
Now, I took those pictures, by the way, that we just showed.
Those were good pictures.
I just want to take a little credit. I got a lot more in case you want to see them.
Wow, I haven't seen those.
We were getting sprayed by the water. We were speeding around and hanging on for dear life, and I'm trying to take pictures the whole time. Ball four. Tabata draws a walk, so he's aboard against Lincecum to start the fourth inning.
Well, before the month of September is over, the Bay Area is going to be privileged to something quite special.
Yeah. Well, you and I are not, we're not sailing experts. I certainly am not. But we saw firsthand that team from New Zealand today was just spectacular racing out there. I mean, you could tell. You don't even have to know what you're looking at to tell how good they are. And so if it turns out that's the team that Oracle USA faces, that's going to be a heck of a race. Races.
Yeah, can't wait.
Well worth coming out to see for anybody in the Bay Area. Well worth it. Neil Walker, who struck out his first time up. The Pirates trying to get back in this game, down 4-0. 2-0. And Sanchez is coming out to talk to Lincecum.
Well, a base on ball is now a 2-0 count, and this is going to be a little pep talk right here. And while Hector Sanchez goes out to talk to Tim Lincecum, we are going to ask our AT trivia question tonight. If you think you know the answer to it, you can tweet it to CSN Giants. The question tonight: name the last National League team whose pitchers threw 3 complete games in a single season post series, or a single postseason series. Something like that.
Yeah, close. Just give us an answer. That one misses inside, a fastball, and it's 3-0.
Well, he's not really getting squeezed here either. Kerwin Danley has had 3 pretty easy pitches to call here to Neil Walker.
And there's a strike, 3-1. Now this is a big sequence here. The best Pirates hitter is on deck. And he misses high, ball 4. So Lincecum has given the Pirates a rally here, getting in the middle of their order.
Now Dave Rigetti going to come out, and this is going to be all about mechanics. If he senses that his rhythm has picked up, or if it's a little slow, he may suggest off that. We talk about a sequence of pitches he might try to get back in the strike zone. Throw a lot of fastballs. He seems to be missing with one pitch. Start throwing your slider more. Start throwing your other pitches, your other release points. Oftentimes that can get you back into where you get a good feel with all your pitches again.
So we'll see if Rigetti gives Lincecum a little something he can use. 2 on, nobody out after back-to-back walks, and the most dangerous Pirates hitter, Andrew McCutchen, is at the plate. Lincecum got him to hit into a double play in the first inning, which is hard to do.
I know he's only done it 3 times all year.
There's the curveball, but he misses with that one, 1-0.
So indeed, that was the message from Rigetti, to throw your other pitches.
McCutchen took a pretty big cut there at the fastball. Foul ball. He has been impressive in this series, hasn't he?
He's a good player.
Takes that one.
Look at your best athletes, and the one word that comes up when you're describing those athletes, whether it be in baseball, football, basketball, or whatever it is symmetry. And that's what Andrew McCutchen represents to me. I mean, he's so well balanced in everything he does.
It's that one to right field. Hunter Pence will make the catch. Tabata tags. He's going to third. Walker stays at second, but Lincecum will take that. That's a big first out. Well, you get a chance to win a road trip with Lucille. sfgiants.com/Virgin Sweeps. You and a guest flown to 7 Giants games in 3 cities. It starts here. 2-game stretch in L.A., 4-game streak in New York. On your flight from San Francisco to L.A., you'll be joined by, Lucille. sfgiants.com/Virgin Sweeps. That's how you enter.
Now, is she a gamer babe or what? Got her glove, good fold in the hat. Ready.
Pedro Alvarez takes a curveball outside, 1-0. Chance for the Pirates to get on the board here. First and third, 1 out.
Pirates have been very, very patient with Pedro Alvarez as he has developed. He's really starting to pay some dividends.
Yeah. And that's a good point. It takes different players, different amounts of time to start to blossom. And I think the Pirates have come to the realization that Pedro Alvarez is not going to. He's not going to hit 300. He's not going to be a high average hitter, but he's leading the league in home runs right now.
Yeah, he's dangerous.
Took a home run kind of cut and fouled it off, strike 2. He was drafted ahead of Buster Posey in that draft. They were the 2 big college prospects. And the Giants liked him. They scouted Pedro Alvarez heavily that year. High target. Low fastball. Strike 3 called.
Well, and I tell you what, they got a little lucky there because Hector Sanchez was anticipating a high fastball, and he was starting to rise up. And watch him pancake this ball as he receives it. And when you do that in the eye of the umpire, it looks like you're taking it out and you're catching it lower than the strike zone. So they do get the strikeout. But they got a little lucky there.
2 outs. Still first and third. And Garrett Jones at the plate. Jones struck out his first time up. That ball is pulled foul. That one bounces into the Pirates dugout. The dugouts have not been safe havens tonight.
They have not.
Brett Pill was taking aim at the Giants dugout earlier. Fastball missing, 1-1. Well, Lincecum almost like he's just trying to get through this 4th inning. Giants have a 4-0 lead. He's a little out of whack. Jones, good pitch there, strike 2.
Good split. I mean, when he keeps those specialty pitches down around the knees, they've been untouched. They're not even getting fouled off.
One and 2. He struck him out swinging. A little frustration for Lincecum. It wasn't easy, but no runs allowed. Giants lead 4-0.
Available at csnbarrier.com. It's brought to you by Acura, and it is with the Miss Rennell, of course, the Giants PA announcer. Hey, she's been on the DL with a broken patella. She gives us an update. It ain't pretty, but she's a super gamer, and she also tells me about her personal conversation with President Obama. It's good stuff, guys. csnbarrier.com and Amy G's Giants exclusive with Rennell. David, Mike, let's go up to you.
All right, Amy, thanks. There's Rennell, the voice of AT Park. She was missed when she missed that series.
Yeah, she really was.
We got all kinds of questions. Giants fans have, I think, come to know her as just part of the fabric of this place.
She brings a lot of energy every day.
Scutero, leadoff man, bottom of the fourth, 4-0 Giants. Ball one from Liriano. Scutero's had two good at bats, a hit and a line drive out, which is nice to see. I think, Mike, we will see Scutero take some more days off here. He's really been beat up for a couple months now, and he wants to play every day, and the Giants usually have him in there, but I think his body could use a little refreshing.
Well, I agree with you, and he's really had to play through a couple of pretty tough injuries this year. And one may bother him the rest of his career. We're talking about the injury he had to his little finger on his left hand.
Yeah, that pinky is still crooked. So it's been a rough year for Scutero, even putting up good numbers, playing well, making the All-Star team. He has paid a price for that success. Here's a look at the left hand.
Yeah, he wraps the knob with that little finger, and it really was painful for him for a long time. He had to alter his style of hitting because he couldn't hit the way he normally likes to hit, with his little finger wrapped around the knob, beneath the knob.
Scutero pops this one up. Barmes came in. Now he has to move back a couple steps. Out number one.
All right, we're going to ask and answer our AT&T trivia question tonight. The question is, name the last National League team whose pitchers threw 3 complete games in a single postseason series. Our survey said, well, the Pirates did it in 1992. Tim Wakefield and Bob Walk. Wakefield, the knuckleballer, had 2 complete games.
Yeah, which was amazing. It was really a coming out party for him. Not many people knew much about Tim Wakefield. I think he made his debut that year. And in a series that's just an all-time classic. That playoff series with the Braves is one of the greats ever. Bob Walk is here in the ballpark tonight. He's working on the radio side for the Pirates. There he is.
20th season as a Pirates broadcaster. And he was a good pitcher. He was one of those guys that would throw the kitchen sink at you.
Arias hits one off the end of the bat. Barmes makes the play, 2 down.
And talking with Bob Walk, I mean, his whole career as a broadcaster, they haven't won.
20 years, he has never seen a playoff team.
He's never seen a team with a winning season, and all that's going to change this year. And you know, he's like any other old ball player. He's not going to count on it until it happens. He goes, I have a lot of work to do. Yep, absolutely. You do have a lot of work to do, but good to see him finally have a good season to talk about.
Posey takes ball 1. Buster 2 for 2, 2 line drive hits, 1 knocked in a run. And you've been saying it, Mike, now. It's been a week or more where Posey has been hitting the ball hard, and he hasn't had a lot to show for it yet, but I think the swing is coming back after a few weeks where it's been pretty quiet.
Well, he puts a lot of pressure on himself, and when the team's not playing well, he really absorbs a lot of the blame, even if it's not justly deserved, because he feels that he's the guy that should produce. And he's been hitting the ball hard. It's been getting caught, and that's very frustrating when your team's not winning.
2-1. Had a good swing there, but it hit foul. 2-2.
You are not winning ball games. Patience is not a word that applies, because you can't be patient. But this game will teach you patience. It'll teach you how to deal with failure. That's what it's all about. Mr. Posey comes into this at bat hitting 304. That means he's made outs 7 out of those 10 times. And he is one of the best in the game. What this game will teach you is how to deal with failure.
It was a good pitch from Liriano. Posey did well just to get a piece of it.
And the way you deal with it, just keep moving your feet, keep working hard.
That is never a question with Posey, ever. 3-2. Buster hits another foul ball. It was a gorgeous night. Great view from up there. Some wisps of fog starting to roll in, but what a scene. Posey into center field. That's his 3rd hit of the game.
Yeah, he made that look way too easy. And for Liriano, that was not a hanger. That was a beautiful pitch. Goes right back up the middle, protect that strike zone. Just nice execution and a really pretty good example of excellent bat control.
So Liriano's thinking, so I've been in the American League all these years. Now I see why he was the MVP. He's made good pitches to him all game. And Posey's 3 for 3.
And that was pitch number 90. So the guys have done an outstanding job of getting pitches out of Liriano, something they could not do last night with Charlie Morton.
2-0 to Hunter Pence.
Take a look at the pitches that he's throwing. 38 in the first, and he followed it up with 24 in the second. Well, his night just about defined. He had a 10-pitch inning in the third, and here he's already into 19, and he's got more to throw.
Pence, there's that changeup, strike 1. Two-one pitch. Very high. 3-1. Nice to see Pence hit the ball into right center field his last time up. Usually that's a good sign for Hunter. When he starts to use right field, he has got so much power in that direction. That's usually when Pence really heats up. Strike 2 swinging.
Two-seam fastball that just, it could even have been a changeup. You know, watch the movement on this thing just fall off away from Pence. Just a little subtle 3-inch slide away from the bat head.
Posey takes off. Pence takes ball 4 down and in. Well, the Giants just continue to have long at bats against Liriano, who's a very frustrated guy.
Well, Clint Hurdle's got no choice. He's got to get somebody up. The pitch count dictates. That's 95 pitches here with 2 outs in the 4th. And Jared Hughes, the sinker ball and right-hander, starting to get up and get loose.
It's been such a good year for Francisco Liriano. He's getting loose in a hurry. Brett Pill will hit. One start stands out where he just got clobbered. Liriano. I mean, this is a guy whose ERA well under 3 coming into this start tonight. He gave up 10 earned runs at Coors Field early this month. Pill swings and misses, and his manager left him in to give up all of them. I mean, he gave up a bunch right away and clearly didn't have it. And I guess you give Liriano credit. He stayed in the game. It wasn't.
That's the thing about being a starting pitcher. You get a bunch of runs on you early. You got to stay in there to eat up some innings.
Pill, strike 2.
2 pitches, 2 changeups. That's one thing you cannot do with that pitch, is try and pull it.
He's been almost unhittable at home. He's still been pretty good away from home. 0-2 in the dirt. Sanchez keeps it around home plate. Posey's not going to take a chance.
2 times in his last at bat, he hit ground balls into the dugout. And finally, Jeremy Affeldt told him, hey, go the other way. Watch out, Affeldt in the back. Go the other way, meat.
I'm trying to enjoy this ball game sitting here. In the dirt again. Bill would not swing at that changeup. Now, Bill's going to have a chance to play here, especially against left-handers, but he'll get some at-bats against right-handers as well. Still trying to learn left field. This is a month plus for Brett Pill to try to make a good argument to be on next year's team. Be a role player for the Giants. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2, up and away. They went after those first 2, Mike, and since then he's had a very patient at bat. Runners get a chance to take off here. There they go. Pill hits another foul. Liriano's up over 100 pitches now, not through the 4th inning.
That's something you don't see very often, but it just says a lot about how the Giants have gone about taking their at-bats against them today. But now they need the big hit. They need to make these innings hurt.
Yeah. They have a nice lead. Pill up the middle, and that's right where Walker is playing. They'll go to first, and Pill is retired. They made Liriano work, but he did not give up a run. Still 4-0 Giants.
Consecutive losing seasons for 4 major North American sports all time. Pittsburgh Pirates on top of the heap with 20 consecutive, and they're still on that. That's going to go down this year. Vancouver Canucks, the Sacramento Kings, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers round out those 4.
Yeah, obviously not all time, but not current, but all time. Yeah, the Pirates have the longest streak of those losing seasons. Still active officially for what, another week, maybe 2.
Well, and they really do have a wonderful fan base. You know, the town is ignited, as you can imagine, over this year's Pirates team. They know that streak is going to come to an end. Roger Kieschnick down left field.
So Bill comes out, Kieschnick comes in. 2-1 to Tony Sanchez, the catcher tonight for the Pirates. It's not really been smooth sailing for Lincecum, even though he has not given up a run, has only allowed one hit. A lot of counts like this. He's had a hard time finding the strike zone. Sanchez swings and misses. Well, we were talking, you mentioned Bob Walker. We were talking with all the Pirates broadcasters, and literally when they get to 81 wins and are on the cusp of clinching the winning season, Sanchez hits a high drive to deep left field. And Kieschnick, just in the game, will watch it go way back up in the bleachers. But Tony Sanchez, that's his first home run. It's 4-1 Giants. That's the first one of his major league career.
Well, a 3-2 challenge fastball was up and in, and we just found out that he covers that area pretty well, because this was no cheapie. About halfway up the bleachers. That's a big boy.
Well, they're hoping to get that baseball back. Something got thrown back in the field. They want to save that one, and Tony's interested. He wants it saved.
Oh, you bet. I mean, you're pretty lucky if you get your first big league home run back.
What was that? The umpire, Gary Cederstrom, just picked it up, basically tossed it over at the feet of the third base coach.
Yeah, Nick Leyva almost took it on the top of the head.
Here's Andrew Lambeau. Ball one to him.
There's Nick.
He's got the ball in his back pocket. Lincecum way up and outside. 2-0.
This has all of a sudden become cumbersome.
Yeah.
For Lincecum.
Wow. That one not even close.
And I don't know if that was the mound off his push step or his plant foot. Something was out of whack there. So he caught his heel. That was as he started to stride towards his target. He caught his left heel, and it caused him to make an errant throw.
All four. So this Giants lead is getting less comfortable.
That's 80 pitches for Lincecum. So with that, all of a sudden the Giants are getting some activity. Gene Machi is heading down to the bullpen.
Here's Barmes, who had the big hit, the home run last night, taking strike one. Better fastball there from Lincecum. There's a ground ball to third. Sandoval had a little bobble there. Scudero not quite in time. It was going to have to be perfect because it was not hit very hard. Barmes has some decent speed, and I think Sandoval knows that tiny little bobble there cost any chance for the double play.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Glenn Barmes did not have much of a backswing, so he's going to get out of that box pretty well. And a little bobble and the speed of Barmes, no chance for a pair.
Scudero hung in there pretty nicely at second base on that one. Did everything he could do. Well, we'll have a pinch hitter now, Felix P.A. Left-handed hitter, outfielder for Francisco Liriano. Had 4 very tough innings on the mound. Good curveball for strike one. Spent most of the year at the AAA level, just got called up. At one point, he was a huge prospect. First for the Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Here's Liriano. 4 innings and 102 pitches. But the Giants only got those 4 runs. All of them came in the first, and Liriano did a pretty good job of keeping his team in the game. Sanchez can't find it. Barma's got a quick break, and he'll make it to second without a play. Wild pitch.
Yeah, and I think if he'd have been able to pick it up cleanly initially, it may have had a chance, but couldn't find it. So a gift of 90 feet, and they lose the force. There you see Machi.
Getting loose. Lincecum hoping at the very least he can make it through this 5th inning. PA down the left field line, carrying pretty well, and foul. That one had some hang time. It stayed up in the air a good long while. Two-two pitch. Struck him out swinging.
And a split and a good one. So Lincecum comes up big with the strikeout here as Pittsburgh's trying to get back in this ball game. Split. You can see that thing move away from the left-handed hitting PA. And that is a thing of beauty, folks.
Well, the swing and miss stuff has definitely been there for Lincecum. Only the 5th inning, piling up the strikeouts. Tabata, though, has had 2 good trips to the plate against him, has singled. It was a 10-pitch at bat to lead off the game. Then he drew a walk in the 4th.
Oh, those are killer at bats.
4-1 Giants leading. Tabata, a little pop-up into shallow right field. Scutaro is there. Scutaro with the catch on the move. And Lincecum gives up only the 1. Pirates on the board. It's 4-1 Giants.
To you by your Northern California Acura dealers. Come test drive the extremely new 2014 Acura MDX today.
Back at AT&T Park, 4-1 Giants lead going to the bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher for the Pirates when it's time for a change. Think Speedy oil change and tune-up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. There he is, the right-hander Jared Hughes.
Saw Jared Hughes earlier in this series. He's got a real good sinker. He'll run it up there low to mid-90s. Hughes a big guy. He is 6'7", 245 pounds. 2-year veteran out of Plano, Texas.
Yeah, he's imposing. He climbs up on the mound, and he's looking down at that hitter, Pablo Sandoval, who had a hit against him in the outing that you're talking about. Will lead off for the Giants and bat left-handed.
Well, Pablo Sandoval really is the one guy in this Giants team that's got a natural swing built to beat sinker ballers. He's a low ball hitter. Sinker ballers, low ball pitchers. It's a good match for Pablo.
It's a dribbler first base side. Hughes, for a big guy, moves pretty well. Makes the play.
Red Pill out of the game. Nestles up to Will Clark. Talking about approach. Talking about an idea and situation. How to create count leverage. What to do with count leverage. How to identify a side of the plate that you're going to possibly see a pitch with. Will Clark can talk about baseball for hours. A hitting savant.
I like to see the young guys who want to tap into that resource, want to chat with him. Because I think one thing about a guy, I mean, you would know better than I, Mike, but one thing about a guy like Will, he's here, he's available, he wants to talk ball, but he's not necessarily going to go up to everybody and just start to spill his guts. And I don't think he wants to intrude on everybody's time.
Well,
that one got Hector. Man, he's hurting.
Got him in the right ankle.
He had nowhere to go.
Well, and sinker ballers, their spin on their fastball, for whatever reason, and we may have to go down to Paul Robinson, the physics teacher, ball dude, if they're in the third base line tonight, to explain why it is. But sinker ballers' fastballs are heavier, and when you get hit with one, it feels like you get hit with a sledgehammer. And they got him in the right ankle, I believe. A one hopper. Yep, right in the right ankle. Ouch.
Ooh. Well, Hector's going to stay in the game.
That ball didn't run away a whole bunch either. That was a direct hit.
Yeah. So Hector doesn't run real fast anyway. He's probably not going to be moving all that well at first base after that one. Blanco comes up. Blanco has a hit, has knocked in a run. He's 1 for 2.
I want to finish that conversation about Will Clark because there's something about him that he's had since the day he walked into organized baseball. And that is a confidence that if he sees something that you're doing that he thinks is wrong, that you shouldn't be doing, and if he has something that he thinks he can give you to make you better, he will tell you.
Blanco, line drive single. Nice swing for Gregor Blanco.
Now, the point you make about Will is absolutely true. He's not going to go look for things. He's not going to go approach somebody if they don't want to be approached. But if he does see something that he feels that he can pinpoint, that he can correct and make it better, he will do it. And he'll do it against a guy who's a 14-year veteran.
Yeah.
Not just a rookie. And a lot of people will approach rookies. They won't approach an established guy, but he'll do it.
Well, we love having him around just because of his energy, his enthusiasm, his love for the Giants. But he is just a great guy to have around for those 25 players in that locker room.
He's energy, you bet.
We'll see if Lincecum is bunting here. He goes to bunt and has to kick the back leg out of the way. Ball 1. Lincecum struck out twice against the starter Francisco Liriano, who's out of the game. Giants have a rally going against the reliever Jared Hughes. Bunt and a real good one. Alvarez, his play to first for the out, but both of the runners advance.
Runners at first and second. That bunt should go down the third base line. You cannot execute any better than that.
Tim with hair says good job, Tim without the long hair. He looked that way for a while. Now kind of back to the young Lincecum look. A job well done there. You want that bunt to go to third base, so the third baseman has to come in and make the play, because with 2 on, you have the force on at third. The bunt has to be a little better than, say, just a runner at second, where it's a tag play. And now Scudero's got a chance to knock in a couple with the base hit and open this game up. In the dirt, and a good save by Sanchez, the catcher.
Now Sanchez, the catcher, is going to get tested right now, because everything Hughes throws has downward bite to it.
That one gets away from Sanchez. So good call, Mike. Hector Sanchez comes in to score 5-1.
And I can guarantee that Tim Flannery went over to Hector Sanchez and said, be on your toes, because Sanchez had a pretty good break on this one. There's not a whole lot that Tony Sanchez could do. But boy, fastballs, split fingers, hardest balls to block, and sinkers, they are just not an easy thing to keep in front of you at times.
2-0 to Scudero. Blanco over at third now. There's a strike, the sinker at the knees.
That's a gift.
Good save again.
Giants 3 for 8 tonight with runners in scoring position. The Pirates have not been able to come up with the money hit against Lincecum.
Too often lately we've seen those numbers flip-flop, where the Giants have been the team that struggled to get that hit. 3-1. Strike 2. Scudero looked that one all the way back to the catcher.
I mean, that's where Hughes wants you to swing at the location down there. I mean, you hit a ball down there off of a sinker ball, you feel like you're hitting a shot put.
Just outside, ball 4.
Go back to the first inning, it really was a lot of solid contact, a lot of what Bruce Bochy calls the ground attack. There's Brett Pill swinging bunt. Saw Posey break a bat off the end of the bat, and then it was just ball's not hit hard enough to get double plays, and just the Giants just kept chugging home for runs. A 4 spot in the first, and now they finally added to it here in the 5th.
Joaquin Arias at the plate, 1 for 3, and trying the ground attack himself. It's a foul ball. I love that our guys in the truck, not only do we call it that, we got a graphic built. Ground attack. Here it is.
I think this offense over the years probably should have a category on the stat sheet from Elias.
It should. Man, a couple of years ago, it seemed like for weeks that was the Giants' offense. Arias swings and misses. Chase that slider way outside.
Well, the only way you swing a pitch like that is if you don't see it. You're not seeing the spin on it at all.
So that's not a real comfortable feeling.
Well, it's not. And if you're Hughes, you're thinking, now I got to throw him another one of those.
We'll see if he does. That's a slider, and Arias puts it in play. Down the right field line on the move, and a foul ball. Lambeau, good effort, couldn't get it. But it drops foul right up against that sidewall.
They named a field after that guy, didn't they?
Yeah, it's pretty famous. Aaron Rodgers, he loves Lambeau. Twilight time. Sun has set behind us. On this Saturday evening, Giants 5, Pirates 1. Posey waiting on deck, but Arias in an 0-2 hole. He hits that one on the ground to second. Walker throws him out for out number 3. So the 1 run, a little more ground attack baseball from the Giants there. They lead the Pirates 5-1. Tribute night. First 20,000 fans to enter the gates receive a bullpen rock poster special event package also that includes an Elvis Presley Giants bobblehead. You got to get the special event ticket to get the bobblehead. sfgiants.com/special events. I think there'll be a whole lot more going on that night too.
I think that we will see some Elvis impersonators that well, I'm looking forward to it. Let's put it that way.
And they'll look a little better than Brandon Belt and Sergio Romo did there. That ball hit by Walker. Nice range by Scutero to throw him out. Let's send it down to Amy G. Amy.
Well, Dave and Mike, there's a reason Hector Sanchez is considered a ball magnet. Not only does he get scuffed up a lot behind the plate when he's catching, he gets hit a lot while he is batting. I actually spoke to him about it today before the game, and we laughed about it because last year he came out ready for batting practice with full shin guards on, and he was not kidding. He says he spends a lot of time in the whirlpool, a lot of massage, December and January. He does nothing. Stays away from the baseball, guys.
Well, Hector had that one that clanged off his ankle earlier, so he'll be back in the whirlpool tonight after this game.
Amy, I think you jinxed him.
Yeah. The chat before the game.
Who gets hit on a one-hopper in the ankle? I haven't seen that all year. Amer the gamer. Yep. You put the jinx on him.
1-1 the count to Andrew McCutchen here. 2-1. Well, Lincecum, he's trying to get through at least this 6th inning. The pitch count up to 94. He's had a couple wobbly moments in this game, but overall he's pitched well. Bounces that curveball. It's 3-1. Ball 4.
And that's the last thing he wants to do. That's the 4th walk now for Lincecum, and they all started after the 4th inning. He breezed through this Pirates lineup the very first 3 innings. He gave up a leadoff hitter, a 10-pitch at bat single to Tabata in the first inning. Then he retired the next 8 guys, and since that time his release point has been altered a bit. It started in the 4th inning when he walked the first 2 guys down. To his credit, they didn't score, but the last thing you want to do when you have a 4-run lead is start giving up free passes and creating opportunity for nothing. So again, Dave Righetti out to talk to him and just to try and get his mechanics back into the strike zone.
Meanwhile,
the conversation continues. Pill, Will Clark, Pill in the thrill.
well, that's cool to see. I like to see that. Pedro Alvarez, after that meeting, swings at the first pitch, pulls it foul.
The other thing, too, about Will Clark, he doesn't have just one thing he can tell you. It's like something that applied to him, and he's just going to throw it your way, and it's up to you to sort of digest it and apply it to yourself. He is going to look at your mechanics, and he is going to tell you something about you that you'll be able to relate to quickly. And I think his ability to communicate on that level is what makes him special in regards to hitting. He's fantastic.
In the dirt, good block by Sanchez. Not just something generic, not just a one-size-fits-all. Will's watching. He's watching closely.
Well, he was that way when he was a player. Come back after an inning and say, I don't think you should pitch that guy the way we thought we should before the game when we talked about it. This guy's pulling off the ball. Pitch him away. Use the other side of the plate. And more often than not, that scout report would work. And the other thing, too, this is when he was a rookie. A player that, normally you have to play a couple years before you can have a voice. But he would say things to older pitchers about what he saw a guy doing at the plate or not doing at the plate. And it's pretty special when you can have an open dialogue about that, talking during the course of a ball game.
2-2 to Pedro Alvarez. He hits that one hard and fair. Past the dive of Posey. It's going to roll all the way into the corner. Pence has to wait for the carom to come out. McCutchen will stop at third. But Pedro Alvarez has another double. That's his 3rd of this series.
That was not a hanger, I don't think, because he just went down there and got it. That's going to be the last pitch for Lincecum. Sit up in the outside corner. It goes down and in. And yep, it did have some hang. It was above the knees.
So that will end the night for Tim Lincecum. And I think he looks a little frustrated. Pitched well, but would have liked to have hung in this game a little longer. Nice ovation for Lincecum as he walks off the field. 5-1 Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and tune up your oil change. Tune up and Smog experts. Jose Mijares taking over for Lincecum in a 5-1 game.
Those are the numbers for Mijares.
And he's facing a pinch hitter, Gabby Sanchez, hitting for Garrett Jones. A base hit would really change the feel of this game. 2 runners in scoring position. First at bat of the night for Gabby Sanchez. 240 average, 7 home runs. Hits that one hard back up the middle. So there is a base hit. Alvarez will have to stop at third. The throw cut off by Posey, but McCutchen has scored. It's 5-2.
Fastball right out over the middle at the belt. Gabby Sanchez with a nice disciplined at bat going right back up the middle. And here come the Pirates. And that almost hits Mijares. Nice at bat.
So Jose Mijares throws 2 pitches, gives up a hit, and he's coming out of the game. So another pitching change in the 6th. Pirates threatening. 5-2 Giants.
Brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
5-2 Giants leading the Pirates, but a run in for Pittsburgh here in the 6th and looking for more. The Giants have made another pitching change, and Gene Machi comes in the game. 3rd pitcher of the night, 3rd pitcher of the inning.
And you see the numbers for Machi, they're all good. Almost a strikeout an inning. Fastball that goes low to mid-90s, hard slider and split. And he would love to get a nice 2-hop ground ball hit right directly at Joaquin Arias.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. In a spot like this, you're looking for a ground ball out of the bullpen. Somebody.
Well, he can get that ground ball with that split. I mean, it's got a lot of downward movement to it.
But Tony Sanchez, who hit his first major league home run in his last at bat, and he lines one into center field. Another hit. That'll score Pedro Alvarez. Stopping at second, Gabby Sanchez. 5-3 Giants, and the Pirates' comeback is on. Those runs will be charged to Lincecum. His statistical night is now over.
Vin Mazzaro, the right-hander, starting to heat up, and very quickly Dave Righetti coming out. They're going to talk about this situation here as to how they want Machi to try and pitch to Tony Sanchez, or I beg your pardon, Lambeau.
Well, we can't blame you if you forgot Sanchez was at the plate. He was there for 1 pitch.
Yeah, he jumped on the first thing that came his way.
That's 2 hitters in a row. It was the 2nd pitch from Mijares that was hit into center field. The very first one that Machi threw. Sandy Rosario down to the bullpen. So it's a scramble for the Giants right now.
So it is Andrew Lambeau, the new hitter, who really at the start of the season was on the 40-man roster with the with the Pirates. He worked his way out of the minor leagues. So he's a confident hitter right now. And this is a confident team.
Now time after the conference on the mound with Righetti. Hector Sanchez needs to talk to Machi. And Dave Righetti going, First pitch, Lambeau takes a strike.
That's a good pitch right there. I mean, you see the movement on it. It's got big time downward bite. That's a split. And at 85 miles per hour, man, that's a pretty hard split. So you will get ground balls, even when they're put into play. And that may be what he's pitching for right here. May see another one.
He throws it, swing and a miss, strike two. Well, you're right. I mean, we haven't seen the consistency with that pitch from Machi, and it's part of the reason why he's been sent down a couple times this year. But when it's on, I mean, it is nasty.
Yeah, that's a pitch he found late in his career. I mean, he'd been sort of a journeyman minor leaguer, and all of a sudden he comes up with this thing and gets him to the big leagues. Bruce Bochy loves him.
0-2. That one struck him out swinging. Good pitching by Machi there.
3 splits. See you later. I think Lambeau wanted to know if it was I think he's saying he fouled this ball off.
Yeah.
I mean, Clint Hurdle going to pick up the argument.
Didn't look like it to me. I mean, it's hard to tell, but
No, he couldn't tell. He was blocked with his leg. But a big 3 pitches and a big strikeout. This inning was starting to leak oil. They needed an out, and they just got one. But one more to go.
And it's Clint Barmas, the guy who was the hero last night. 2 on, 2 out. Foul ball, strike one.
All right, one more look. Did he foul it? Can't tell.
Yeah. Now, you're never going to win that argument because the home plate umpire, he's the guy who can make that call. It's not like somebody.
And if he doesn't hear it,
yeah,
that's your only defense.
Gabby Sanchez is the runner at second. Tony Sanchez is the runner at first base. 1-1. That one is hit hard and stabbed at third by Sandoval. The long throw in the dirt, pulled out by Posey. What a play. Saved a run, maybe more. Great defense by Pablo. Giants lead by 2. time for our McDonald's True Stories. This date in Giants history. On this date in 1975, Ed Halicki pitched a no-hitter. Let's take a listen.
Outfielder straight away. 2 out in the 9th inning. 6-0 Giants. Here's the stretch. The pitch to Garrett. Swung on a grounder to Montañez. Short hop. Touches the bat. No-hitter. Ed Halicki for a crowd of 24,132 at Candlestick Park.
Well, it was a great night for Ed Halicki and the Giants. You might have recognized the voice. That was Al Michaels doing Giants games that year. So fun to listen to that. 5-3 Giants over the Pirates here. When it's time for a change, think Speedy oil change and tune-up. Your oil change, tune-up, and Smog experts. New pitcher of the Pirates, right-hander Vin Mazzaro.
There you see the numbers for Mazzaro. He's had a nice season, 6-2 with a 2.44 ERA, 2-to-1 strikeout walk ratio, strike thrower. Nice tight little slider. You're going to see a fastball that goes low to mid 90s with that little slider and a changeup.
Posey breaks his bat, hits a roller toward the middle, and the throw to first in time.
Well, this is the play that ended it for the Pirates. A backhand stab on a one-hop smash off the bat of Clint Barmas, and on the back end, a nice dig out to the backhand from Buster Posey, who plays first base like he's been there every day all season. And that's how the 6th inning ended for the Pirates. Nice play.
So Hunter Pence at the plate, 1 out. Posey retired for the first time in the game. Pence takes a ball 1-0. It was Jordy Mercer, the new shortstop, who made that play. Gabby Sanchez stays in to play first base. So the pitcher spot is the 8th spot in the order. There's a strike to Pence. It's 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good slider. Strike 2. Way outside with that one.
There's the knot-hole gang out there left field. Still the best deal in town.
Yeah, I'd say.
Go stand there, watch Big League Hardball for free.
Good take by Pence, 3-2. Be a great night to be out there on the Port Walk.
I think that's one of the great things about this ballpark. Hey, stop on by, watch a couple innings.
In the dirt, ball 4. Pence takes his second walk and is on base for the 3rd time tonight. That's nice to see. Giants led this game 4-0 after the very first inning. Pirates made it 4-1. Then it was 5-1 Giants, but 2 runs in the top of this 6th. And this game is far from over. The Giants would love to have an extra run or more. Roger Kieschnick will have his first at bat of the game. Came on for Brett Pill defensively, now up for the first time.
Steal opportunity here.
For a guy who's been pretty good at that this year.
Well, 18 for 20. That's pretty good. Pretty good numbers. You'll take that. And there for the longest time, nobody could throw him out.
Yeah. They're going to pay attention to Hunter Pence. Twice he's been successful stealing third. The only 2 times he's been caught trying to steal second. That includes last night. Pirates caught him trying to steal. It was Russell Martin on a very close play. Kieschnick goes after a pitch way down and in, and that one gets by Sanchez to advance Pence. No steal, but he gets second base.
Well, that may be significant. They love to have a base hit here. Watch this breaking ball. He's set up in the outside corner. And Roger Kieschnick, I don't think he wants this one in his highlight film at the end of the year.
No.
But the good secondary lead and anticipation of that ball in the dirt, it needs to take a second for Hunter Pence.
One and two. Kieschnick, a little dribbler first base side, and it's going to roll fair. Scooped up by Sanchez, and Kieschnick is out. Well, that was an unusual looking play. Pence goes to third, 2 down.
It was. I mean, you have the illusion as you're going down that baseline. You're trying to outrun the ball. And really, there was nothing that Kieschnick could do. I mean, you got to keep running towards the bag. He couldn't slide. They couldn't go around. Didn't even really need to do anything because he already stepped on the bag. Yep, fair ball. That's Barksdale, the umpire, making the call.
Yeah. And it's technically the home plate umpire's call until the ball gets to first base. But for the home plate umpire, that would be a very tough call. Barksdale was right on top of it. So you'd like to see that. Just get the call right. 2 down for Pablo.
They need a 2-out knock here bad.
Base hit would give him an extra run. Strike 1 swinging. Pablo's 0 for 3. He did knock in a run with a ground ball his first time up.
Pirates playing Pablo Sandoval straight away. The only adjustment is Alvarez, the third baseman, playing way off the line.
One and one.
There you see the defense. Pretty standard setup. Third baseman just a little bit off the line, closing up the 5.5 hole.
Good save. Tony Sanchez, he's been busy tonight.
Yeah, he's had to deal with about a half dozen scuds, and that's a conservative estimate.
You know, you think when Russell Martin is not in the game that the Pirates would suffer defensively, but Tony Sanchez, he's got some skills back there. Russell Martin's a very good defensive catcher. Two and one to Pablo. Strike 2 called.
Ooh, front door sinker, a good one. Saw that thing early, gave up on it, and just kept boring in on that inside corner. Better to find out about that one on a second strike than a third, because that thing froze him.
Well, he went after a pitch that was inside, maybe a little different pitch, but he pulled it foul.
47 years trying, never caught a ball. Give me the one you're holding, crew. Sign it, please. Sorry, pal.
That
Good sign, though.
That doesn't really count.
I like the effort.
He was asking nicely. 2-2. Sandoval to right field. There's a 2-out hit. Pence will score. 6-3 Giants.
Well, they stayed on that inside corner. They tried to come back in with that same pitch they got the second strike with. And Sandoval covered it up. Same identical pitch. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And Sandoval jumps all over it. And I got to tell you, that was therapeutic. A 2-out knock with an RBI on it. So there'll be no shutdown inning for Mazzaro, and the Giants can still add more.
A very big run to make it a 3-run game. Sanchez takes a strike.
Boy, it really is. I mean, you know, the Pirates really got back into this game. Their dugout got momentum back when they scored that 2 spot in the top of the 6th. So for the Giants to answer here, they bring that momentum back into their dugout.
That one is hit to first right there. Gabby Sanchez for out number 3. Kipe's coming back over to join Mike on the TV side, but the Giants have an extra run. They lead it 6-3.
Toyota dealer through 6 innings. The Pirates 3 runs on 5 hits. The Giants 6 runs on 11 hits. Liriano knocked out after the 4th inning 102 pitches in his first 4. Lincecum 101 pitches in his 5 of the 3rd. 8 strikeouts for Lincecum. And Tony Sanchez solo shot his first big league home runs. The Giants, the big difference tonight, 4 hits with runners in scoring position. That is the difference in this game. That is our Toyota game summary. Right now, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog expert, Sandy Rosario, coming in to pitch the top of the 7th. They're here to tell you all about it. Dwayne Kuiper.
All right. So the 4th pitcher for the Giants, and it will indeed be Rosario. A bit of a stiff back. Here's Bochy, hadn't used them, at least in this series. And he's facing Jordy Mercer. That first pitch fastball got a little scary there the last inning.
Yeah, it did. Pirates came out hacking. They are a team with a lot of confidence, no question. They showed it there in the 6th inning, and they don't expect them to go away these last 3 innings.
Mercer takes a good breaking ball, 0-2.
Tell you what, I mean, his back has been stiff the last couple days, but his shoulder has definitely got some life in it because those first 2 pitches are live. Good fastball at 93, nasty little breaking ball at 82. Quick 0-2.
Throws another one. This one by design in the dirt. It's 1-2.
Good 0-2 pitch.
Lined right at Arias. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, Dwayne and Mike. Neil Walker is in the on-deck circle. He's a switch hitter, and we've had a question floating out there for a while by fans. How many times can a switch hitter switch sides of the plate during an at-bat? Now, Sandlot Legend had it just one time, but I spoke with Ed Montague. He's a former Major League Baseball umpire and currently supervisor of umpires. He looked it up for me, rule number 606. A switch hitter can switch sides of the plate as many times as he would like, as long as the pitcher is not on the rubber. Now, whether that annoys the home plate umpire or not, that's up to the batter. Guys?
Yeah, it's a great question. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I mean, I think I was supposed to know, but
I had none clue.
I mean, you're not a switch hitter.
Check this batting donut out for Neil Walker. It tells me somebody in that Pirates clubhouse is a thief. So Cubs, if you're missing a batting donut, we know where it is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Maybe they stole it back, or at least that would be the story if I'd go by if I'm Walker.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Tapped foul.
All right, Paul Robinson once again getting worked on.
Now, he's got a whole group now. I mean, they give him a standing ovation. Pretty amazing what happens when you become a popular ball dude. Up high, 1-2.
Well, and you want to become a popular ball dude, just take a couple headers down there going for balls. You are an overnight sensation.
Yeah, but you know, it really does have to be legit, though.
I think he's sincere as a heart attack.
Absolutely, I agree. Look out as that's rolled right past Rosario. Second hit for Tabata.
I haven't seen a bad at bat coming off that Pirates bench for about an inning.
I know. The former Pirate Javi Lopez now trotting down to the bullpen. So here's Walker.
Javier Lopez heating up quickly. He's thinking about Pedro Alvarez.
And it's just a little wide, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Walker walked in the 4th. He's also struck out and bounced out. Get on the ground to Scudero. Scudero cannot make a play. Everybody's safe. So now the plot thickens, because instead of a double play ball, we got the tying run coming up.
Wow. Talk about changing the dynamic of an inning quickly. This could have been an inning ending double play, but now you get their best hitter, Andrew McCutchen, up, and the inning continues. And you see the frustration from Marco Scudero, who is a very sure-handed second baseman.
Dave Righetti has made trip after trip to the mound in this game. So here's McCutchen. McCutchen is 0 for 2. Down low. Tabata at second, Walker at first.
Just pitch, good pitch.
And again, just off the plate, it's 2-0.
The thing about McCutchen, he just doesn't help you. He does not go out of that strike zone very often. He makes you challenge that strike zone. It's almost like he knows he's going to get a good pitch to hit because he knows that strike zone so well. Except for that pitch right there.
He didn't want to swing at that one anyway.
Well, you can take away count leverage with a good location, and Rosario just did. A backdoor sinker, pitcher strike. Thank you, very nice.
Hit out to right. Pence is going to camp underneath it and make the catch. Tabata will move to third, 2 outs.
Yeah, that's a big bat to send Packard back to the bench. And Bruce Bochy taking a hard look down the Giants bullpen. He's getting the heads up sign that Javier Lopez is ready for Mark Gardner, and here he comes.
So the matchup will be Lopez against Alvarez. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. We'll be live. You'll get highlights, reaction, and analysis. It's all coming up right after the game. Giants are leading 6-3. Hey, the girls are here.
Well, the Gamer Babes have showed up. They're in the Corona Beach Club down there, and I think that's very fitting. Javier Lopez, for the 54th time, has come into a Giants game, 2-2 on the year with a 2.08 ERA. 28 strikeouts, 11 walks, just a solid season. Look what the left-handers have done against him, or I should say haven't done against him. Lefty's hitting a $169, and he's got to get a very tough one out right now. Just missed. That's one, if you're Hector Sanchez, you have to ask, was it low or was it outside?
It ends up being 1 ball and no strikes. And this is bounced foul. It's now 1-1. Rosario and Lopez trying to pitch through the air. by Scudero. 1-2.
Just nailing down that outside location. Alvarez looking for a mistake. Something middle in, something up.
And Lopez instead will check on Walker, who's at first.
Playing to pull. Arias, the shortstop, a couple steps away from the bag.
Got him. Dinner's on Marco Scudero. 6-3 Giants. Park. I see we got a lot going on, whether it's inside the ballpark or outside the park. It's a 6-3 lead. Giants are on top here in the bottom of the 7th, and Gregor Blanco is going to lead things off. Brandon Belt is just jumped out of the dugout. He's on deck. Blanco a couple of hits in this game as he takes a breaking ball down low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Talked about how good Alvarez was at fielding the bunt play at third base. That's something you always knew when you were playing an opposing team.
Yeah, you know the guys that are good at it, but it's more so where they're positioned. They can discourage you really quick if they're playing in. Now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. I said Belt was on deck, but they've switched one Brendan for another.
So Belt sat down. Crawford comes out.
Hit well into center field. McCutcheon is going to put it away, however.
Center field has just been killing Giants fly balls of late. Mr. Posey, Hector Sanchez. Last night's ball game launched bombs out there. And those guys said today, that's all I got. Normally you get a little carry that side of the field. And that's where the carry is here. It's dead straight away center, which is where the prevailing winds are. But that's not been the case here this homestand.
So here's Crawford. Crawford on one pitch pops this one up behind the bag at second. It'll be Walker. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Marco Scutaro. Scutaro opened up the bottom of the first with a base hit. And the Giants went on to score 4 runs in that first inning. So Scutaro takes another strike, and just like that, it's 0-2.
Now here's where it gets tough with Scutaro. I mean, he's just such a difficult guy to strike out because he doesn't have a lot of swing. He waits so well. If you watch him take batting practice, he does an unusual thing. Batting practice pitchers will pitch out in front of the rubber. They'll get as close as they can and try and give you as much fastball as they can. But he really backs up towards the back of the cage, the batting cage. And he just forces himself to wait. If you watch his batting practice, for the most part, it goes right back up the middle.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of swing. Certainly the smallest load on this Giants team. Maybe the entire Western Division. Hands simply rock back. They don't even really come into a full circle. Sets them low and fires from that location quite well. It's almost like he sets his hands, and if the ball's above his hands, he won't swing at it.
And he lines this one, and Tabata's going to make the catch to end the inning. So Scutaro hit it right on the nose. And now we'll head to the 8th as Santiago Casillas is going to come into the game. Some of the sights and sounds of the 6-3 ball game. When it's time for a change, think Speedy oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Santiago Casilla going to bring his 5-2 record and his 1.83 ERA into this ball game. 39th time he's been in a ball game this year. Pretty amazing amount of work when you consider he had knee surgery halfway into the season. Joaquin Arias goes over to third base. Brandon Crawford stays in the game. He's at shortstop.
Oh, and 1 to Gabby Sanchez. Gabby Sanchez came in as a pinch hitter in the 6th, facing Jose Mijares, and smoked a line drive up the middle for a base hit. Also knocked in a run. And that pitch is in tight, and it's 2-1. Two and 2. Tony Sanchez is on deck. Tell you what, within a circle of about 30 feet, there's a whole lot of Sanchez's wandering around.
Well, there's Tony, Hector, Javier Lopez took care of one.
Here's the 2-2. And it's chopped. Crawford into the game. Immediately he's going to get a tough play, and he makes it.
That was kind of a weird hop. Nice play. Well, Saturday, September 7th is the Giants' annual Fiesta Gigantes presented by Coors Light. Fiesta Gigantes is a free pregame celebration featuring 3 live musical acts, and you get the ballpark early as the festival goes from 3 to 6 p.m. and is located on the Terry Francois Boulevard. Also, the first 20,000 fans to enter the ballpark receive a giant sombrero courtesy of State Farm. For more information on Fiesta Gigantes, go to sfgiants.com.
Here's Tony Sanchez. Hector getting out of dodge. 1 ball and no strikes. D-backs and Phillies battling it out there in the bottom of the 12th. D-backs have to be a little discouraged with this one. They had a 7-3 lead going to the 8th inning. Two and 0 to Tony Sanchez, who hit a very impressive home run for his first major league home run.
Yeah, a 3-2 count, a fastball above the hands, middle end. And he hit it halfway up the bleacher section.
Takes a strike. His base hit off of Machi in the 6th inning was loud as well. Two and 2.
That's big time sink right there. Keep that thing down around the knees. You'll get some explosive movement.
Ooh.
He swings right through it. Throw that again on the inside corner. He'll chase. They want to go away.
Arias at third is going to wait for this one to come down. And Arias doing the serious pop-up dance, puts it away.
That was up there.
I'm saying that this Tony Sanchez has got a little bit of stuff in the barrel of his bat.
He's got some TNT in that barrelhead. We watched a long home run, his first in his career, go out, and here you don't hit pop-ups like that if you don't have a little thunder in your bat head. It was in the air for 6.5 seconds.
Wow. That's Dave Kingman-like. Here's Andrew Lambeau. Kind of a cool name.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Davis here. They named the field after him.
Lambeau. He better be from Wisconsin if you got a name like that.
He's from Newbury Park, California.
Oh. His parents had to have been major Packer fans.
Yeah, no doubt.
You think where he grew up, they had the frozen tundra in the backyard?
Newbury Park? No. A little creosote and chaparral, baby.
Probably not. This is rolled foul. Two balls and a strike to Andrew Lambeau. Garcia about to throw pitch number 14 in the inning for him. Blanco. Side retired. Arias Posey Pence coming up.
Produced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, Giants fans, are you on Facebook? Well, if you are, we want to hear from you. Be sure like the Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area Facebook page for breaking news, exclusive features, giveaways, and much, much more. See us at BayArea.com, your interactive home for authentic Bay Area sports.
It's a 6-3 lead for the Giants, but it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up, and smog experts.
Brian Morris, the new pitcher now for Pittsburgh. The 26-year-old right-hander. 43rd time he's come into a game. Throws hard. 28 strikeouts in 55 innings. 3.11 ERA. You see low to mid-90s fastball. He's got a curveball and a slider. You see more sliders than curveballs.
And he's facing Joaquin Arias, who takes a strike. Josh Harrison is in right field. And it's a ball down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Buster Posey to follow. And then Pence. tapped right back to where it came from. And Arias is gone. Arias is thinking, wait a minute, I got to hit the first time up. I'm thinking, man, I got 4 in me tonight. 1 for 5. Buster Posey had 3 hits in his first 3 at bats. See Romo getting loose. And a strike to Buster Posey. The only out Posey made was in the 6th inning when Mazzaro got him to bounce out to Barmas at short. And that's to the backstop.
One thing we've seen consistently coming out of that Pirates bullpen is a lot of flame. They got some arms. A lot of mid-90s fastballs.
You see Buster Posey almost fall down too many times when he takes a swing.
No, you don't.
But that time,
he may have twisted his ankle. Let's take a look at this hack. Big movement on that fastball, working its way into Posey. Loads up that knee and that ankle on that backside.
and Posey goes down swinging. Don't forget to check out Sportsnet Central tonight after Giants postgame live, right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Here's Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence has been on base 3 times. 2 walks and a single. And that pitch is wide, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Pence hitting right at 279. Goes the other way. Is it going to stay fair? It's foul.
Not by much. Not by much.
Not by much is right. So it's 1-2 to Hunter Pence. And Pence is going to go down swinging to end the inning. So we'll go to the 9th as Morris picks up a couple of strikeouts. Harrison's going to lead things off, and Romo's coming in. Game live will start at 12:30. We'll be on the air at the top of the hour, and you can watch it right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Giants will head to Colorado after the game and play 3 in Colorado, a day off, and then they'll move on to Arizona and San Diego. 6-3 Giants.
New pitcher now for the Giants will be their closer, Sergio Romo. Going to come in and try and get his 31st save of the season. A nice year for Romo. 46 base runners and 46 in the third. Those are big time numbers.
So here's Josh Harrison to lead things off. Remember, he came in on the double switch. And a first pitch fastball for a strike. See the numbers for Harrison, a .262 hitter. And he rolls this one to Arias. He better hurry. And they got him. Nice play.
Nice play. Anything but easy. Swinging bunt's one of the hardest plays to make. Watches it right into the glove, throws off the right foot. Good exchange. And you get a chance to see the strike. Posey does the rest.
So here's Jordy Mercer, who came in the 7th inning, and he takes a strike. And that pitch is off the plate to even the count.
Nail that first strike down. Now you can afford to go out and hope he chases. There has been width on that first base side of the strike zone tonight. Not so much on the other side of the plate.
Swing and a miss. 1-2.
3 pitches, 3 perfect locations.
And he got him.
Set it up for a 1-2 slider, and the no-doubter completely overworked Mercer. Boy, that's just 4 darts. Watch him follow through. Grab some pine meat.
So here's Tabata. Tabata's had good at-bats in tonight's game. He's been on base 3 times. And the first pitch is down low.
Tabata hasn't had a bad at-bat in this series.
Well, he really hasn't. Cannot hold up. It's a ball and a strike. Giants trying to hang on for Lincecum to pick up his 7th win of the year. Lined. Kieschnick can't get it. It kicks off of Kieschnick and it rolls into left field towards the line. And Tabata, another good at bat.
Yeah, he really has had solid, well-balanced ABs. And he has hit the whole spectrum that they've thrown at him. Fastballs, curveballs, sliders, splits. Whatever they've run up there, he's had good back leg balance in his swings against. Kieschnick just missed making a nice backhander. So the Pirates are hanging in there. That's what they do.
And here's Walker. Walker is struck out, walked. He's bounced out, and he reached on a Scudero error. Tries to shave the outside corner, and he misses. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
First pitch, 2-seam fastball. You signed Andrew McCutchen on deck. You do not want to see him in this game anymore.
And Walker breaks down. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Nope. Same spot as the first pitch. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike.
Walker put a pretty good eye on those two-seam fastballs. He's laying off them. Wano County went back to the inside corner with that slider. He went back out away again. He hasn't shown him that changeup that he likes to throw lefties. And a backdoor slider, and evens the count. And once again, the Pirates down to their last strike.
So over 42,000 here tonight, standing. Hector Sanchez and Romo trying to come up with the pitch to end this game. And it's hit on the ground to Scudero. That's the ball game. So the Giants win their first game against the Pirates in this series. And it was a nice performance by Lincecum in the bullpen, and 4 runs in the first.
Well, and some really good hitting tonight with runners in scoring position. Giants came up big in that statistic, a statistic that has not been kind to them of late. Tonight they succeeded, and the difference was a win.
Final score, the Giants 6 and the Pirates 3. Esurance Giants postgame live with interviews in the wrap is coming up. But first, let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio for an update.